How you doing, guys? Big Dave here. I'm going to be recapping UFC 315, starting with the prelims. We're going to work our way up to that welterweight title fight. I'm going to be pretty quick today. It's Mother's Day. I got to go get some flowers, do all that stuff. So decided to take a little stroll and just recap this because I was pretty hyped last night. So starting with the first fight of the night, we had Bekzat Almakhan knocking out Brad Katona in the first round. Not much to say. Brad Katona, I picked up on it instantly. He loves circling to his right. He does the same kind of footwork patterns over and over. And then as soon as he tried to go to his left, Bezcat just jabbed him right in the nose. And you see his whole nose get entirely red. And I just knew, oh boy, this is not looking good. And then eventually, he tries to step in with this big long jab to probably set up a takedown, and Bekzat just times him with a beautiful uppercut right under the jab, knocks him down, finishes him with ground and pound. Kid's got serious power, man. That's gonna be tough to deal with. I guess that Umar knockdown wasn't a fluke. So yeah, Bezcat Almakhan, fucking first round knockout, pretty good. Uh, and I picked him to win, but I picked him by decision. So hey, even better. Next fight, we had Daniel Santos defeats Zheng Li by decision. Yeah, I feel like I had a pretty good read on this fight. Zheng Li is dangerous as a big one or two strike at a time kind of bully type fighter. But Daniel Santos is nuts, and that's what I like. He's just like fucking getting hit with shots. He's throwing wheel kicks. He's using good combinations, good pressure. And like I said, he threw the wrestling in there, and that really sort of sealed the deal. Some water right here. And that really sealed the deal, was the fact that he was willing to go to the wrestling. And yeah, just the combinations, the pressure, the tight defense, the fact that, when they were trading, he was landing the cleaner shots, and at least he was being defensively minded. And, Zheng Li had his moments, but it's just tough, man. It's tough when you got a guy just pressuring you, throwing combinations, you're trying to time one or two, and then a couple times he'd sit down in the pocket and it'd be a pretty even exchange. But yeah, man, Daniel Santos at featherweight, gas tank looked good, chin looked great, power, maybe not the best, but the volume's great and the technique is great. Both guys were working the body. Honestly, this is a really good fight. I'd recommend going and watching this if you want to see some good body work. Zheng Li was mostly one big shot to the body at a time, whereas Daniel Santos was more combinations to the body, left, right, left, head, and then get out of there, or left to the body, right to the body, shoot a takedown. So he just mixed it up, and yeah, he basically just outfought Zheng Li, outpaced him, outworked him. But really good fight, and I picked him. So 2-0 so far, and then this is where I make possibly the worst pick of all time. Next fight, we had Marc-Andre Barrio versus Bruno Silva. Now, I picked Bruno Silva to get, I don't even know why. I picked Bruno Silva to get a first round TKO, and the exact opposite happened. He basically, there's not much to say about the fight, but he basically got pushed up against the fence. Barrio was doing a good job driving him up against the fence, and he just elbowed him in the temple, knocked him out, and then elbowed him again and dented his head. And he was out for a long time. That's a very, very bad knockout, honestly. It kind of fucking, made me feel some type of way. Uh, but yeah, it was a, man, brutal, brutal elbow. And he was out cold for quite a long time before they finally got a stretcher and stretchered him out. And, they tried to give updates, but all their updates were like, oh, the imaging came back clean. I doubt that. I don't see how a man's skull can do that. And then you say, oh, actually, the x-ray is fine. He's fine. So, I don't know. But yeah, Marc-Andre Barrio knocks out Bruno Silva in the first round with a beautiful elbow. And I think it's time for Bruno Silva to probably call it a day. I don't know what other signals you need, but when that shit happens to you, Whew, that's like life-threatening stuff right there. So hopefully he calls it a quit, maybe moves on to something else like coaching or just something, and hopefully he's okay. And Mark Andre, yeah, back in the win column. This was a very forgiving matchup, you know, giving him a guy on like a 5-fight losing streak. But hey, a win's a win. So now I'm 2-1. I don't know why I picked Bruno Silva. That could have been such an easy 3-0. Moving up, we had Navajo Sterling defeats Ivan Erslan. Now, in my prediction, at first I was picking Ivan Erslan. And then I think you can see exactly why I switched, because yes, he did very good in the first round. He was landing right hands at will. But hey, you know what? I didn't get a good read on Navajo Sterling's kicking game. I really thought it was going to be a counter shot that put Ivan down, but really he just kicked the shit out of him from range. The classic John Jones thing. Kicked him at range, just slowly wore him down. And by the third round, yeah, Navajo was in complete control, not dominating, I shouldn't say, but pretty much beating up Ivan Erslan. He dropped him with I guess he didn't drop him, but he fucking hurt him with a big right hand. And from then on, he just beat his ass, took him down, got on top of him, and yeah, pretty much rode the rest of the third round. First round was Ivan's though. Good right hand. Second round's close, but you can say Sterling probably edges it. And then the third round's all Sterling. So yeah, I thought it was going to be a TKO, but he didn't get the finish. Navajo Sterling defeats Ivan Erslan by unanimous decision. I'm 4-1 right now, or 3-1, so I'm feeling good. And then we hit Modestas Bukauskas defeats Ion Kudalaba. So I picked Ion Kudalaba. I picked by first round TKO. Not even close. It was basically Modestas just fighting him on the outside, out jabbing him. And Iwan trying to duck in and land big shots and get clinches. But yeah, I mean, people are saying robbery. I got to watch it again. To be honest, I don't think you can really argue that Kudalaba was winning that clearly, just because he was throwing a lot, but he wasn't really landing a lot. And Bukauskas wasn't throwing a lot, but he landed, I guess, some jabs. And I think the fact that Kudalaba looked so frustrated convinced the judges that he was losing. But I got to go watch this one back. It was honestly kind of boring. Bukauskas fought good, though. That's how you fight a guy shorter than you who's trying to walk you down with combinations. You move and you jab him and you use lateral movement. But I just think he probably could have unleashed a little bit more. But hey, I appreciate the guy being safe, especially since, you know, the majority of him getting hurt are during crazy exchanges when he's trying to just, you know, he tries to alpha out, as we'll say. But yeah, you know, Modestas Bukauskas defeats Ion Kudalaba by split decision. Got that one wrong. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, and 2. So not great. Moving up. I believe we had Jessica, well, at least on my notes. We have Jessica Andrade versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I picked Jasudavicius by submission. And yeah, she easily beat Jessica Andrade. Andrade is, for lack of a better word, she's cooked. You know, she's up a weight class where she was never that great, fighting a girl who's bigger than anyone she's ever fought, with a style that's like her worst nightmare. A big, tall, strong grappler with a jab. It's literally the worst thing. And you can just see instantly the fight starts and Andrade is tiny. She's thick, but she's tiny. And she tries to just bull forward, trying to punk Jasudavicius. And unlike the girls down at her old weight class, Jasudavicius just cracks her with a fucking right hand. And yeah, you can kind of see Andrade go, whoa. And from then on, it was pretty much just whatever Jasudavicius wanted to do. Gets her down to the ground, like body slams her to the ground. Gets the back, rear naked choke. It's a wrap. So yeah, Jasmine Jasudavicius continues on her streak, and Jessica Andrade, I don't know what to do, but maybe it's time to call it. But yeah, got that one right. So now I'm doing better. I'm at 4-2 now. So moving up, this one sucks. We had Mike Mallow defeats Charles Radke by second round. Brutal, guess what? Left hook knockout. I did not see this coming, man. You know, I took a shot on the Radke. And also I didn't realize that he was like a right wing popular fighter. I don't know what he did, but I was watching MMA Guru and he was saying say it again, Radke. So did he say like the N-word or something? Because I know Guru, I know kind of shit that he, or did he, what did he say? What did he say? Someone tell me. But yeah, Mike Mallow basically kept Radke at the end of his kicks. Radke looked super limited, super hesitant to cross that distance. And every time he tried, Mallow was on a good angle and was just basically out punching him almost every single time. Radke was having trouble even finding his left hook. His right hand, yeah, he would go southpaw and he would try to like throw a 1-2. And that's actually what got him knocked out. In the second round, he goes southpaw because he's getting frustrated. He's like, okay, well, maybe if I mix it up, I do a little something tricky. No, what he does is he throws a 1-2 with his fucking hands down by his waist after he throws. And he just gets rocked by a right hand by fucking Mike Mallow. Hurts him, stumbles him. Then they start going, they go to the middle of the cage and they exchange again. And then this time, Mallow just catches him with a huge left hook, puts him out, ground and pound, puts him out cold. And yeah, dude, that was impressive. So, hey, my bad, dude. That was a wrong pick. Mike Mallow proved me wrong. Good power, man. Good power. Great game plan. Very calm. You know, you could see a little bit that he can get in his own head, I think, maybe. But when he's just on, he's a dangerous guy, man. He's big and he's strong and he seems very well prepared. So, yeah, Mike Mallow knocks out Charles Radke's second round. Moving up to the main card, real quick, Benoit St. Denis finishes Kyle Prepelic by arm triangle in the second round. Yeah, you know, first round, yeah, what can you say? First round, BSD takes the guy who took it on super short nose down, kind of mauls him on the ground the whole round. Doesn't really hurt him too much, but just positionally dominates him, works him through all the ringer, you know, all the positions, the back, transition to the body lock, taking him down, mount, you know, basically everything. He just out grappled him. Second round, we get classic BSD trying to throw really ugly strikes with his chin right in the air. No defense, just pure offense. And, you know, it was working. Of course, he was banging up Prepelic, but Prepelic was landing shots too. But it was just a matter of time. You could kind of see it. He hit St. Denis clean, and St. Denis kind of took it. And I think after that, he realized that, what's his name? Prepelic couldn't really hurt him. So in the second round, he just swarms him with elbows and knees in the clinch, batters him, and then takes him down. Absolutely batters him. Takes him down, and then just gets him in a arm triangle. And Prepelic pretty much knew it was over. He had a full open half guard, fully locked in arm triangle, and then he passes to side control and gets the submission. So yeah, pretty easy call. Benoit St. Denis, second round submission, and I picked him. So that makes me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3. 5 and 3. So not great. Moving up, we have Alexa Grasso loses to Natalia Silva by unanimous decision. Pretty easy call, in my opinion. Alexa Grasso is not gonna cut the cage on Natalia Silva. She's not gonna, you know, be able to just stand there and box her up. And Natalia Silva is just doing a good job. Movement on the outside, big check hooks, good kicks, really fast kicks. She was going inside low kick, turning, fucking wheel kicks, stuff like that. Front side kicks to the face. And, you know, Alexa Grasso did good. She was finding her jab. But it was just too little what do you call it? The volume was definitely on Natalia Silva's side, and Alexa Grasso she was having a tough time tracking her down. You know, she just wants to exchange in boxing range, but fortunately, Natalia Silva was rarely giving her that. And then whenever Grasso was like, okay, I gotta go now, Natalia Silva was ready for it and would just catch her with the left hook and angle off. And the fact that Grasso doesn't really cut the cage means that every time she was just kind of getting away. She's like cutting the cage, okay, straight ahead, and then there goes Natalia Silva to the left. Not like the most action-packed. You're not going to see like anything crazy, but you know, good performance by Natalia Silva. And I picked her, so that makes me 6-3. Moving up, Jose Aldo loses to Amin Zahabi. So I'm just going to talk about the third round because the first two are, one is clearly Aldo's, two, I guess you can say Zahabi. I scored it for Aldo, but I remember thinking I did not like Aldo's body language. He was just looking like, oh fuck man, like I am tired. I think the weight cut really wrecked him. So the second round, you know, Zahabi is putting more pressure. As soon as I saw Zahabi going like, and he's doing all this like, I was like, oh boy, Jose Aldo is gonna get tired because the way Aldo likes to operate is he loves to time counters. And if you're just giving him that much info, bro's just like, oh dude, I don't know when to time my counters. And you can see he would think he'd have something and he would just throw a big punch into the air. And that shit gets you tired. And Jose Aldo, especially, if you guys know about Jack Slack, he's pretty much called out that Aldo's a perfectionist. And when he can't land strikes, it's not what he likes. He wants to hit you almost. If he could have 100% accuracy, that's like his ideal world. But yeah, the third round. So the third round starts off, Zahabi's trying to put the pressure on him. And then, you know, about like 3 minutes and 30 seconds, Aldo catches him with a right hand through the guard, hurts him, drops him again, and then kicks him in the face, launches fucking Zahabi flat on his back. Zahabi gets up, he gets chased around the ring, fucking borderline illegal kicks to the head, pride rules. And then we have 3 minutes left. Zahabi survives, and Aldo is completely cooked. Completely cooked. And Zahabi basically just beats the shit out of Jose Aldo for the last 3 minutes of that fight. It was one of the worst things. It's worse than Aldo's fifth round against Mark Hominick, because at least in that one, he didn't take this much damage. But, yo, Zahabi just stood in his guard and beat the shit out of him. It turned a 10-9 round from Aldo into a 10-9 round for Zahabi. Which is crazy. Like, how often do you see someone get a knockdown and still lose that round because they get fucked up so bad? But yeah, Amin Zahabi wins a decision. People are pissed. And Jose Aldo retires. And I just say, good night, my sweet prince. Sail into the sunset. Go coach people and create another champion. Please create another Jose Aldo. But yeah, you know, Jose Aldo loses, and I got that one incorrect. So moving up the card, co-main event. Oh, this is another bad one. Valentina Shevchenko defeats Manon Fiorot. I picked Manon Fiorot, and I don't know why. She can't really punch. She had the worst fucking game plan I've ever seen in my life. She immediately tried to go in there and bully Valentina, got her nose broken, or got her nose bloodied up, and that was pretty much all I needed to see to know that she wasn't going to win. Valentina, you know, typical low output, dragging people into her pace, keeping distance. You know, a couple check right hooks was basically all she did. She doesn't have a good left hand. Yeah, honestly, I don't have much to say about this fight. Manon Fiorot, just for being tall and matching the southpaw stance of Shevchenko, she had no jab. Her boxing looked terrible. Yikes. She looked super inexperienced out there. And yeah, this was a fucking stupid pick by me. This is close to my Bruno Silva pick. That's how I felt watching it. That's how I felt. So, yeah, anyways, Valentina Shevchenko wins a decision, and to the surprise of nobody. Main event, we had Jack Della Maddalena defeats Bilal Muhammad by unanimous decision and becomes the new welterweight champion. God, I love JDM, man. His style is so sick. Yeah, let's break this whole thing down. So, right away from the first round, it seemed like Della Maddalena's normal game plan wasn't there. And instead, he was playing the outside movement game. He was keeping himself off the cage, using really good head movement and single non-committal pot shots, straight shots, not too many hooks, not too many uppercuts, just straight boom, right hands, straight lefts, jabs, and keeping Bilal at the end of punching range and not getting trapped up against the cage. And Bilal, I think, he likes to say, people when they're in with me, they don't know what to do. But I think he didn't know what to do as soon as he was in there with Maddalena. Because normally Bilal will at least attempt to put pressure, but JDM was not backing down. JDM looked supremely confident, and he knew he was not going to get taken down by Bilal. And yeah, the first couple rounds are the first 2 rounds are basically just Jack Della Maddalena putting on a boxing clinic on, Bilal. And don't get me wrong, Bilal's finding his jab. JDM's not perfect. He's there to be hit. He can get caught watching his work. He can get caught he was doing like this weird head movement where he'd punch and then he would just weave under everything Bilal had. Bilal never tried to adapt with knees or with uppercuts or anything like that. So, yeah, he was doing good though. Bilal's jab looked all right, but he was just didn't seem as powerful as JDM. First, second rounds, yeah, Bilal's he looks a little behind. He looks flat in a way. Third round, he tries to start putting pressure on JDM, but he's just too good, man. His striking looked great. His footwork looked great. His pivots looked great. He's just lighting up Bilal. Bilal's landing, but the impacts are so much different. JDM likes to get hit. Look at his face. Bilal, is tough, but he doesn't have that kind of power to compete with a guy like JDM in that regard. I really think JDM did a good job of. Bilal never knew when he was going to circle out, when he was going to take an angle to hit him, or when he was just going to start doing head movement. And JDM, he fought a masterclass. Fourth round, Bilal has some good moments. He starts putting some pressure on, and I started getting a little nervous. But then, in the middle of the pressure, JDM would just unleash like a 4-punch combo and just crack Bilal. And I'd go, oh, okay, he's fine. I'm so used to seeing these guys, get gassed out by Bilal that I was worried it was going to happen. But by the end of the fourth, I was almost positive JDM was going to win. And, in the fifth round, hey, Bilal gave it everything, man. Got a takedown, got Giggler swept, which is that shit that, I'm a big Jack Slack guy. So watch Jack Slack break down Mansour Banui. He does that same exact trippy little sweep and gets up. And he's a very explosive guy. So he uses that Giggler, gets up, beats takes a couple shots. Again, it's just the power. It's not. It busted it was enough to bust him up. He had a swollen eye. He looked like he was in a fight, but when he was hitting Bilal, it was just thudding, beautiful combinations. Then in the fifth round, after the takedown, JDM gets up and he just decides, I'm going to try to finish Bilal. And he fucking catches him with a straight left. Bilal tries to pressure him. JDM circles out, catches him with a straight left, puts him against the cage. and just unleashes a combo. And I thought he was going out, but hey, Bilal ate it. And then he catches him with a right hand, and JDM clinches him. And it looked like Bilal got saved by JDM clinching. It's freaking raining out here. And yeah, after the 5th round, or the end of the 5th round is basically just JDM flexing on Bilal, not scared of him. JDM is supremely confident, and basically just worked him in all 5 rounds. This is a good fight. I've already watched it twice. I'm probably gonna watch it again today. But yeah, man, we got Jack Della Maddalena. I knew it. That was the one thing I knew. I was like, this guy's gonna be a champion. I could just tell, and I'm glad to be right on that. I was wrong about Manon Fiorot, but I was way less confident in that. So yeah, Jack Della Maddalena defeats Bilal Muhammad by decision and to become the new UFC welterweight champion. And I couldn't be happier for the guy. Hopefully we get him versus Shafkat or him versus Gary. Fuck it. So many good options now where we know they're going to be good fights. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. I went 1, 2, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3, 5-3, 6-3, 6-4, 7-4, or 6-4, 6-5, 7-5. So not great, but it's above 50%. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be predicting the fight card, probably dropping that tomorrow. I appreciate y'all for watching. Have a good day.